How are you guys?
I'm doing well, man. How's it going? Always.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
The weather's good.
It's great.
Yeah, I know it's gonna change a little bit, but
Feels
man,
good.
I'm so good. So, welcome everybody to the Visioneer Podcast. This is our second episode from our first season. If you joined us on our first episode, it was a live, Instagram live. This time we're doing a little bit different. As you can see, we are not doing an Instagram live, and we are not inside a building. We are in an EV trolley. That's right. We are going down Houston Street right now as we speak with Kevin. Say hello, Kevin.
Hello, Kevin.
And his wife, Elizabeth. Say hello.
Hello.
And so this is something that is so intriguing to me because I can remember being a kid and seeing the old school San Antonio trolleys. I don't think I'm old enough to see them on the track, but I think they were on the wheels. Either way, Kevin, I want to really just turn it over to you right now. Can you just introduce yourself to the folks watching? And whatever else you want to add to that, please do.
For sure. I'm Kevin Mancha, founder and co-owner of Sidecars and San Antonio,
Yes.
also known as SaGo. We have these e-trolleys because of that. What Gabe mentioned is, man, having these this nostalgic feel of the trolleys when I grew up as a kid, and feel like, man, we should do some justice to bring that back, right?
Yeah.
Have that option for locals, now our students, and tourists, right? So it's a very unique experience that we offer. We love our city. I was born and raised here, as was Liz. And so.
Very, very cool. Well, you guys are doing an amazing job. I really don't even know where we met. Maybe at Geekdom or in the community somewhere. Maybe at San Antonio Startup Week. But I just know that right when we met, I knew that we were going to be friends.
Yeah.
There was a lot of creativity, I think, in our first conversation about this is what I want to do. This is what I would love the city to look like one day. And you guys are doing it. Like, I think you're doing it in a way that is very unique. Now, transportation alone in San Antonio, I think, is always at the top of every subject when it comes to the city.
Sure.
And you guys are really transforming that in a unique way. So tell me a little bit about, I guess, what were you guys doing before the sidecars and the trolleys? Have you guys always done this, or what has been some of your background?
Liz, I think you want to take this one.
Do I?
Yeah.
Take it, Liz.
Yeah, take it, Liz. Take it away.
So before this, well, how far can we go back?
Oh, you can go all the way back if you want. How much time we have?
I mean, so both Kevin and I, if you didn't know, I don't know if you know this, but Kevin and I both teach at a community college. So we're both professors.
Nice.
Kevin teaches at St. Philip's College. I teach at San Antonio College.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, that's been amazing. And we still teach.
That's so cool.
So what was the question? No, but,
Just like that, like what kind of led into doing like sidecars?
yeah,
And then, of
so,
course, leading up to the trolleys.
you know, it kind of goes back to like Kevin and I traveling. I think
Okay.
that really kind of helped us, like inspire us, help us grow our mind, our ideas.
Okay.
And together, I feel like we're such a great team together. And we've known this since we met, you know, and anything's possible with
For sure.
Kevin and I.
Yeah.
We just kind of support each other, inspire each other. And so we started off, Kevin was into motorcycles, and I bought my first Vespa
Nice.
when I was going into graduate school. And from there, I was like, you know what, Kevin, you're riding your motorcycle. I want you to ride a scooter with me. Like, let's go riding downtown. And so he bought a Vespa. We started riding, and then we found out about Airbnb experiences. We created an Airbnb experience through our Vespa riding. Someone was in the back seat, and we would It was like $20, and we wanted
Tacos were included.
Tacos were included.
Dude,
we were
yes.
not making any money, but you know, from the very beginning, we just want to kind of create a fun life. And anyone who knows us knows that we love to have a good time all the time, like no matter what. We make fun of every situation. Everything's fun and not so serious. But so that was doing really well, and people loved our experience, Airbnb experience. And then through traveling again, we traveled again, and then sidecars popped up.
Nice.
You know, we just started thinking like, how can we add more people to our tours?
Yeah.
And so then, yeah, we were like, you know, you made a connection with someone overseas, and they brought us our first sidecar. And then Kevin, he's just so smart. Nothing's difficult for Kevin. You're like number one.
I love it.
That's
He's
really
just-
cool to hear.
Yeah, he put this Vespa and a sidecar together and built this,
Wow.
created this idea that was our idea together. And yeah, we started giving rides downtown, and then our prices increased,
Yeah.
and drinks and food were included.
Yeah.
We created like picnics, and we wanted to go to the missions, and like we were just doing it. And
So awesome.
The ideas and the ability to share these things with your partner is a rare thing, right? And we knew that right off the bat, like Liz is saying, when we met, because there was some kind of connection, some kind of underlying, I dare use the word soulmate, right? Because when you kind of know and you feel something, it just kind of blossoms into this, easiness of things, of life. To your question, prior to doing all of this, I was an IT director at a junior director at a small meatpacking plant, and
I didn't know that.
yeah, and I, at some point I felt like there needed to be something more, right? I felt like there was something more that I needed to give to my city, and it just started calling me. I remember the day,
yourself,
and
right?
and to myself, because there was something missing, and being able to spill into giving really fulfilled me, right?
Yes.
And so, I mean, it's crazy. I think some of the times people were just like, man, but how did you do that? Or why did you do that?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. And I'm like, well, it made sense for me.
Sure.
And I felt good about it. And so that's why I did it. And that's why I think a lot of people hesitate on doing and living.
Yeah.
Instead of just leaning into it. You should definitely just be like,
For sure.
man, that's what I want to do. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And,
No, I agree.
and that's where that magic comes from. When you are able to just really lean into those moments of, man, I'm glad I took that chance. Had I not done that, I wouldn't be here. Leap into the fear, because that's what we all strive for anyway. Think about when we grew up as kids.
Yeah.
We were, building ramps to jump our bikes. Man, look at that Market Square. Isn't it gorgeous?
Man. Yes.
Man, our city's so cool.
It is awesome.
Badass, dude. Yeah.
And we never get tired of seeing this.
No,
Like,
I
this is
know.
a view that we've seen
Same.
so many times in our
Yeah.
tours.
Same.
I remember as a kid coming through here, man, and it was produce row, and my mom would stop and she'd be like, hey, go get some of the day-old vegetables.
Dude.
And they would have like bags set up of like damaged or bruised
Yeah.
fruits and veggies, and
Yeah.
we would buy them at a discount. And so, yeah, I remember that. And it's still called produce row. People don't even realize that.
What would you say to the couples that are like maybe not on the same page with like maybe going full-fledged with like a creative business?
Sure.
What kind of advice like would you give them? Now, I'm sure it hasn't always been easy, right? Doing this thing and doing this thing together. There's probably been some times. So like in those times where it was rough, like how did y'all kind of get over like those humps?
Oh man, I think I can answer that pretty easily. In that, if you trust your partner, it kind of makes everything else fall into place.
Got you.
Because I'm trusting in Liz, in her skills, and whatever she's really good at, that I'm not good at. I trust and believe in that. And if I truly do, then I'll know that whatever she's trying to accomplish, or if she's telling me something that I don't see, that I truly understand and believe that. So if she says, hey, you know what, I don't think that's a good idea, and maybe I'm blinded by it, maybe I think it's a good idea, but she's like, no, trust me, like this is not a good move.
Yeah.
I just have to believe that and trust and go with that. And then vice versa, and I'm not speaking for Liz, but she'll answer right now, but I feel like, it's one of those moments where it's like, hey, let me be really good at what I'm really good at.
Yeah.
And you be really good at what you're really good at. And when we do that, everything kind of falls into place smoothly.
Like playing on your strength.
Playing on your strengths. A lot of times I find, and I find this even in my teaching, that a lot of students, and we're always students, I think, we're always trying to learn, right? I think it's good to constantly learn. And I feel like if you constantly do that, then you're always challenging yourself. But don't get it mixed up with trying to learn everything and try to be good at a lot of things. Instead of doing that, find your niche, find what you're really good at, and lean into that. Grab it, own it. For me, being like these ideas that I come up with, and just kind of like this fire that I have for life. I always like everything to move in a certain way, and you ask my family and friends, man, they call me Mancha. Man, Mancha, like you, how did you come up with that? Dude, I would have never thought of that, and I'm just like, man, it almost seemed kind of obvious, but it's not obvious. It's not obvious to those people, right? And so then now I understand that, man, maybe there is something, and I've started leaning into that, and then I just go with it. For the couples, I think Liz has a different answer, I'm sure.
The whole time I was thinking about the whole leaning on your partner, right? Leaning on your partner for those, look at her strengths, look at his strengths. And I think we've been together for many years, more than 20 years, to know.
Pardon? Would you happen to have any Grey Poupon?
What?
Would you happen to have any Grey Poupon? No? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
They didn't know the Grey Poupon.
I don't know, man.
Okay, it's okay.
Hey, a lot of people don't know.
They don't. I'm gonna clip the commercial.
Y'all know the Great Poupon commercial? Please, somebody.
Please, we'll clip it in right here. Right.
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon? But of course. Grey Poupon, one of life's finer pleasures.
Because the other day, you did the same joke with my friend, and he was like, huh?
Yeah.
And he's my age. And I'm like,
What if it's one of those things, what do they call it? Where like it didn't happen?
The Mandela.
The Mandela. What if it's
about that earlier.
What if it's that? And the Grey Poupon never happened? What if
we're the only ones?
You never know.
I was talking about the Fruit of the Loom
I
thing.
feel like sometimes some people are very serious.
They are serious.
Life, and
They're too serious.
Too serious.
When you have a child and all, when you have kids and your family, you're so protective, and you're trying to go home. You're doing this, and this is the plan. And, we always have, Kevin and I always have rooms for, well, let's do this detour. Let's do this.
I
change
love
your
that.
plans.
I love that. That's how me and my family roll.
Yeah.
And even ideas and dreams can be spontaneous.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of dreams and a lot of ideas happen that way. And sometimes people don't take them serious until they actually see that they're working.
Yeah.
And they're like, dang, I remember when you had that idea.
Oh, you're not crazy.
You asked me to help you, and I said, you're too crazy, I'm not going to help you. Now I want to help you.
Yeah.
And at that point, sometimes it's too late.
Yeah.
But I just love people that actually pursue their dreams, and that's why I think you guys are doing amazing. What I always tell people the richest people, the most ideas are in the graveyard, because people die with their ideas and they never share them.
Yeah.
And so
because maybe they get told that it's a crazy idea or that you can't do it, and when you truly if you, like think about the gift that your dad gave you. He gave you not a trip to Disneyland.
Yeah.
He gave you the gift of being an awesome father to your kids now, to give them that experience.
Yes.
And for you to be like, man, that man showed me how to be like, dude, let's do it. And so now, and he showed by example, right? And here you are doing a podcast.
I'm doing it.
And you're doing it. You have a whole creative thing going on,
I've been sitting on this podcast for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Why? Okay, fine. Let's do it.
And you have so much to share.
Yeah, and the good thing is, like, this podcast is a platform to be able to give people a voice to just say, look, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, and I encourage you to do the same.
Cool.
I think there's a lot of potential San Antonio has. There's a lot of people that are seeing that potential. Where do you guys see, like, the city going, right? And let's just talk about creatively, right? Creatives, but also just opportunity. Where do you guys see that going in the next, like, 5 to 10 years? Or what would you like to see it go?
For sure. Liz, Toots, you take it.
We talk so much about collaboration and connections. Kevin and I have so many conversations together, and we always question things. Why isn't this happening? Why hasn't this person reached out to us, you know?
Yeah.
But we're like, okay, keep it positive, let's us do it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I would like to see more of that real, like, action. We talk about collaboration, we talk about the connection.
Yes.
People connect us to other people.
Yeah.
It kind of just dies down the line, and you know, we need more help still. Like, there's still more of information that I feel like our parents, our family, our friends don't have those, I guess, the people around us. And we always try to look for more and more people that have more knowledge to help us through things.
And to that is very much like the siloedness of San Antonio. Being a native, you cannot not speak about how we've been historically separated by the parts of town. What's the first question somebody meets you here in San Antonio?
Like, what school did you go to?
Yeah. And what school? What do they mean by what school?
What part of town are you?
What high school? And they mean what part of town? The underlying meaning: did your parents have money? Are you coming from money? Are you poor? Did you have it rough?
Yeah.
All of those things in that one question.
Yes.
In the question of what high school did you go to?
That literally just happened today.
Of all those questions.
With 3 different people.
And you're like, dude, I'm 80 years old. What does it matter if I went to whatever high school? You know?
Yeah.
And even my dad, he's going to be 80 actually here in a couple of days.
Your dad's so cool.
He is a cool cat. He needs to be on your podcast.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He does.
I'll talk to his agent.
I know, right?
But yeah, so one of those things is that to me, I feel like a lot of people, yes, they want to do and they want to collaborate, but there's always something that holds them back. And I think what that is the letdown of previous experiences instead of going in it brand new.
Yeah.
And so then they're already leaning like, I already know what's gonna happen. You know.
Why even try?
The other thing is, I feel like we find that people think we're fine. Like, people are like, oh, Kevin and Liz, they're gonna do great. They don't need help.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I'm like, we still need a little boost. You know, we're not good.
No,
we just love each other, and that's a lot. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's plenty of help. Kevin and I, because we talk about we have so many conversations every single day about so many things, and just questioning what's the next move, how should we say this, what should we say when we meet people, because I have learned so much from Kevin to not say what I really want to say, and I'm like, why can I not say
and it's disappointing, right? Because sometimes we love to share, man. We love being transparent.
I overshare.
And then Liz is an oversharer.
But for me, it's more of, I want to share my experiences so people can learn from some of my mistakes, really. And of course, it's not like the first thing I say, like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, man, I did some time or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but when I get to know somebody, I feel that I can open up to them. But yeah, it's that thing. And I think this happens a lot, like at networking events. So besides SA Creatives, I have an agency, and the agency, we do a lot of marketing at different things, right? And so, you know, I'm from the south side of San Antonio, you know, I have this beard, and people look at me, I don't have any tats, right? So at least people don't judge me on that.
For sure.
But if I did, I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, like, I have to, like you said, you know, kind of be careful on how I approach things, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to grow my business with financially. And so sometimes it's like, it's not a, you know, hey, how you doing, man?
For sure.
You know, sometimes it doesn't work. And unfortunately, that is some of the stuff that I think is that we fall behind on in San Antonio, because the more that people can understand different parts of town, the more they can understand how people were raised, but also where they're at today. For sure. You know, and my thing is this, I always say this, if me and you are under the same roof, we're the same. Yeah. We're the same. And I also do that for people that that work for me and with me. If me and you are working side by side, we're the same. Yeah. And I think that if more people, especially business owners, took that kind of like advice, one, their employees would love them. Yeah. Two, their business would grow organically, and they wouldn't have to force or push something to do. And so, anyway, I love that you guys are in tune. So speaking of like employees and a team, do you guys, is this just you guys, or do you have a team that helps you with the sidecars and with
man, I mean, it sounds cliche and cheesy, but man, these people have become our family.
I love it.
You know, they come through for carnes and for holidays.
I love it.
We spent this past Christmas together at my house with them. And the amount of effort and trust that they have in me and Liz pushes us to excel at a level that I don't think if we didn't have a team, we would kind of plateau. But there's this like, man, they believe in us, and thank you for believing in us. How am I gonna fail you? Let's go forward. And there they are, you know. I always let them know too, hey, my business is your business. If any point at time you're like, hey, I wanna do this, you have an idea, let's do it. You know, because, you know, I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the ideas. But when you give your team that free play, it comes back tenfold. I mean, people don't really understand, you know, when you're like, hey, you know what, go ahead and take the reins. And then that person's like, really? Boom. And they go and they explore and do something that you're just like, man, I never even thought of that. Think about like when we were younger. Oh man, I'm gonna go play outside, ride my bike, and you're just doing a lap, right? And then you tell your buddy, hey, let's go play, man. You wanna ride bikes? Dude, let's go. And it becomes a whole nother dynamic, an adventure. Oh, this guy's gonna go this way. Oh, you're gonna jump that curb. Well, check it out. I'm gonna jump this curb. And now you're challenging yourself, and you're doing and testing your limits, right? And so to continue about the answer about our team, Marina and Joseph, Amanda, Rafa, my dad, my sister-in-laws, Laura and Letty, Mari. I mean, these are all people who have come through, stepped up. Yeah. My buddy Drit, my buddy Alvaro, that have come up and key moments of, man, I need some help, guys. You got my back. And they'll deliver. And all those people are
friends with the advice. And
the support. Sometimes, you know how it is. Oh yeah. You kind of like, man, should I just hang it up? You know, I'm tired. Like, and no, you know, you get that encouragement and stuff. I think it's really something that's far misunderstood and not enough. Light is shown on those relationships. Yeah,
it takes a team.
It takes a team, man.
It really does take a team. And same, I mean, dude, I don't know where I would be by myself. Yeah. Because it's a lot that we do. And I'm super, super grateful for our team and everything they do, and waking up early and showing up. And it's wild. Sometimes we have shoots and we're like waking up at 4 a.m. Yeah. You know,
you're like, man, are these people gonna show up?
Like, man, I hope. But no, I mean, they do, and they do it because they see a vision, and I think it takes someone to cast that vision for people to grasp it, you know, truly. So, speaking of vision, speaking of like, I guess creativity, things like that. who are, I guess, some people or maybe businesses or just brands that I guess inspire you guys, individually or together?
That brands that I like are like clean lines, like Essentials or like Fear of God, and just minimalist.
You guys have style.
You know what I mean? Thanks.
I see y'all show up to events. I'm like, dang. I was like, they knew this is not the Emmys or the Grammys, right? But I love it. I love it because that's just who you are.
Yeah.
You're not trying to be anybody else but yourself.
Exactly that. I think a lot of people try to dim their light for other people. They hold back.
Yeah.
Don't hold back.
Yes.
Shine as bright as you're supposed to be. And it's hard for some people because maybe they've gotten bullied or told that they can't or they shouldn't. And Liz, I always tell Liz, I'm like, come on, Toots, you're SA Scooter Girl, let's go. What are you gonna do, And she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna wear this, and I'm like, there, all right, yeah. And I love it, because Liz is one of the sweetest and most humble persons ever that I've ever met, right? And I tell this to a lot of people where I'm like, dude, even if she wasn't my wife, the type of person she is such like gold, right? And she's an asset to the world. She can move anywhere in the world by herself, and she's gonna be fine. And anybody who gets to be around her is gonna amplify. Their life will be amplified in so many ways.
Okay, hey, boyfriends, husbands, take notes. This is how you should be talking about your partners.
You mentioned something about how, what advice would you give partners?
Yeah.
Going back to that, like you're saying, Kevin, is we have so much good to, I don't know, I myself I'm so good at observing, and I think both of us were able to witness each other's skill and the way we move, and I'm so proud of Kevin, and I'm like, you go, even if it's without me, you go and do things without me, and I support you, and we've always been like that since the very beginning. And if you do not have a partner that doesn't help you to grow, improve, what are you doing? Because it's not, we've seen that in couples. We know several people that they're in a relationship, and they don't have that partner. You can just tell they're not very supportive, or they're doing this and it's two separate things, and that's great, and you're gonna make money or whatever, but look at how nice it is to work with your partner and significant other, and just
for sure, grow
together. It's so powerful.
It's definitely not lost on us when people are just like, what? Some people are like, oh, well, you work with your wife? Oh man, when do you get a break? And I'm like, dude, I'm doing life with this person.
Yeah.
Like, I get my breaks when I need it, but man, I'd rather be spending my time with her. Man, we're cutting up in here. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go drive around. Do you want to stop at a coffee shop? I'll leave her there. She'll do some work, and back and forth. Yeah. And even prior to any of this, man, we were really kind of like, hey, remember, you're your own person and I'm my own person, and we're growing separately, and we're also growing together. And I don't think people really understand that. People think, I feel they lose themselves in their relationship instead of
they have to sacrifice themselves.
They have to sacrifice themselves, and you don't have to totally do that. You can do both, and you should do both, because what I like is not what Liz likes, right?
Yeah.
And Liz likes certain things that I'm like, no, I'm good. But for the most part, we find things that complement each other. And man, we've I don't know. I feel like we won the lottery. I feel like for sure I did. I feel like I won like this special prize of a partner that is understanding, warm, kind.
I agree. And, people that meet you guys too, I feel like win the lottery.
Yeah. Oh man, thanks.
And because of that, it's because there's something special. And I've seen interactions. I've been at stuff, and I've seen people how they interact with you guys, and they're never not smiling with you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think because you guys are never not smiling as well, and it's very contagious. And so, I think, honestly, I remember probably the first event was, I think you came to my event at Hopscotch during Startup Week.
Yeah.
And I remember that was like the moment I knew. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Did we lock eyes across
We
like
locked
the ball
eyes.
pit?
We locked eyes. I remember. I think you had like a really cool outfit, and I was like, okay, he came to play. Like,
Yeah.
messing around. And so, but yeah, no, for sure. So let's pivot to just some like fun stuff, right?
Sure,
like,
sure.
Tell me some of y'all's like favorite like foods or restaurants you like to eat at here in San Antonio. It doesn't have to be downtown, but just in general. What do you guys like?
Ooh, I like McDonald's, Starbucks. No.
Hey, dude, that was the McDonald's, bro. That was the McDonald's.
It's funny because every once in a while, maybe we eat McDonald's maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
And it's the best and the worst moment at the same time.
So twice a week's bad?
Yeah.
Babe, we gotta stop.
You gotta stop.
We gotta stop.
Help us and work with us.
Yeah, I'm like, McDonald's, come on through. We'll sell Big Macs out of this sucker.
So what are your favorite restaurants, Kevin?
La Barranca.
I've never been there.
It's a sleeper.
Where is it at, or what kind of food do they have?
It's right by the lighthouse. By Woodlawn Lake. It's
Yeah.
Tex-Mex.
Hey, nice.
And El Winacero. Oh man.
Dude, that hits right, like around 1.
Dude,
It's right here.
why is it so good, right?
It's very, very, very good.
And then you're like,
They're doing so well.
they are, and they're such cool people. Yeah, they're
Yes,
hustlers, man.
yes.
I love
They're
it.
a couple. Awesome.
And they're a couple. Another
We
restaurant.
love worst behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
Curry Boys.
Liz makes fun of me all the time because she's always like, "Oh, you're gonna eat Curry Boys again?" I'm like, "Man, who's keeping tabs?" You know?
Yeah, no, man.
It's delicious, dude.
Bank account is.
Yeah.
No, I remember like that. I would go to Pinch when they were at the Rand building like at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I would get the Prawn Star Bowl. That's my go-to.
The Prawn Star.
Caps Curry.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Chomper chomp. Oh, what's going on over here?
Hello, man.
Scenes.
We are in Peacock Alley right now, everybody. Oh, Sings.
Sings.
Gosh. Now you're talking my language.
I need them to like do like a frequent customer program where I pay like maybe $150 a month, but I can eat there maybe like 5 times.
Yeah.
5 times a.
I like it.
I think, and a smaller portion. I can do half of that bowl.
I'm gonna have the ball.
Sings. Come on,
Sings
let's
is
do it.
great.
Let's make it happen.
Mings.
Oh,
Mings.
So
Sings
good.
and Mings.
Wings.
Wings.
I love wings.
Wings. I did have a milkshake.
This is their name.
From at the Make Ready Market, and it's at the not the Order Up, but the Eat Up.
Eat up.
So it's the same people that own Order Up, but it's called Eat Up. Anyway, they have a milkshake there. We tried. It was really good.
Oh, okay. I need to check it out.
I have type 2 diabetes, and I risked it.
Yes, good for you. I would too.
I was like, man, this is so good. It was my daughter's, and she was getting mad because I kept on drinking this.
She's like, Dad, I'm trying to save your life. You're like, give me that.
She's like, Dad, no, I want you to live. I'm like, I am living.
I am living. If this is not living.
My best life.
Just on the ground, sprawled out with milkshake all over.
But yeah, those are all some of my favorite restaurants too. I think I like it because most of the restaurants that y'all named are just like local people that just had this crazy idea and they went with it. And now it's a staple in San Antonio.
Dude, they're staples. And what's funny, a lot of the tourists that we give tours to on sidecars, they have the slightest idea of that we're designated UNESCO of gastronomy.
Yes.
And
100%.
to me, yes, we have our missions of gastronomist designation, if that's a word. And so the food scene, for it to be such gastronomativious, it's like also because I live here. So I'm like, we're one of 2 cities in the US. So to me, like when I'm able to share these places with, it's with like not hesitation, right? It's like, hey, oh, you want Chinese? Boom. Hey, you want Thai? This. Boom. Oh, you want a soup? Oh man, come on. You know what I mean?
We might have to extend this to a restaurant.
Literally, maybe go try that shake and Make Ready.
I do want to inspire some of our viewers and people who are listening. So specifically in the small business realm, in the creative small business realm, What kind of advice would you give to somebody that's listening and that's ready to give up, right? That's ready to give up on their dream, on their business. Maybe they've started, maybe they haven't, but they're just ready to give up.
We've had those situations happen. I mean, not fully. We've never really, I don't think we've ever felt like, this is it.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes very tiring, you know, keep pushing and pushing every single day. And we're managing our own selves with our teaching and the business and the connections and keeping up with the connections that we've made. And I'm just so horrible sometimes, like keeping up with the text messages and calling people and following up. And it's like, it's a lot.
Yeah, and then you feel guilty because you're like, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough for myself? Am I doing enough for these relationships? Am I doing enough for it all?
And you are doing enough because you already are awesome. You already have everything you need. You were born with a gift. You know, everyone in here is born with a gift. Yeah. And some of us are using it, and some of us we're soon gonna use it.
Yeah.
We're soon gonna discover it. But I think we already have it all. We already are successful.
Yeah.
We're living. We're doing it.
Yeah.
But we want to keep reaching and
and helping
more.
people. I like that you're bringing the viewer this advice because we're those people. Hey, if you want to know something or if you want to connect, shoot me a DM. Yeah. I'll go have coffee with you. Let's go. Let's chat it up. Why not? Because that's how you're gonna do it, right? Sure. I think I lean into the not being fearful. The fear is you got to embrace that because that's going to be that spark that's going to be like, you know, that we always joke around like, oh, don't let them see you sweat sort of deal. Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, hey, it's okay if you're nervous. Yeah. Speak it. Man, I'm nervous about this thing that I'm doing and I'm scared and then let it all out. And then guess what? It ain't that bad. Everything's going to be okay. It's going to work out. You know, it's going to work out one way or the other. You know what I mean? Yeah. It has to. And don't be afraid. And if you feel like you're gonna give up, because like Liz was saying, we've been there. Yeah. Reach out to somebody.
True.
Reach out to somebody and not necessarily to ask like, hey man, I'm thinking about giving up. Yeah. More so to be like understanding of what it could be. Like, man, if you gave up on this and you talk with somebody in a space that you think you want to go now, and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna stick it out over here. I'm gonna continue my little journey because it's worth it. Thank you for reminding me. You know what I mean? Look at all these successful bikers. Look at that. Cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
See?
Look at that.
I love it.
Look at that. Tron, he matches mine. Yeah.
Dude, that's cool.
I like that. Cool.
That's
what's
so
up.
cool. No, but I agree. I agree with everything that you said. And I think, you know, to kind of close that off, a lot of people are in a race. Well, I don't think they don't have to be. And you know, it's like they want to be somebody. They want to be somebody because they saw somebody else do it or whatever. But I was watching a video not so long ago, and this lady was like saying, you know, one day I'll be somebody and you'll see me. Uh-huh. And the person just grabbed her and said, look at me. You're somebody now.
You're somebody now.
You're somebody now.
What, like,
and you can do things now. You don't have to wait till you're somebody. I was somebody before people knew about me.
Yes.
And you're somebody now. Yeah. And so I think that's something that I want to leave with everybody is you're somebody now. You don't have to be noticed and be an influencer or whatever you're trying to do with your idea, your creativity. You guys are somebody now, and let that stick because it's going to give you confidence and no one can take away.
For sure.
Well, I think we're going to close this episode, but I do want to give you guys a chance to just let people know where they can find you, all the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the this and the that. Sure. I want people to know how to find you guys and kind of how specifically the trolley works.
For sure.
If they're out looking for you guys.
Basically, we're San Antonio. We're on IG, Facebook, TikTok, MySpace, Yahoo, AOL. No,
Yeah,
we're all on the major ones as San Antonio. That's SANANTONIGO. SAGO is our short acronym name, SaGo. We give rides for free to the public. If you're a student,
You can't beat that.
if you're just wanting to walk, if you just want to experience it, hop on in, wave us down. We have a number that you can text that he'll plug in right here, right there somewhere. It's 555-5555. No, and so and it's Texas, and we'll do our best to get to you guys.
I love that.
And let's not forget about sidecars.
Sidecars.
Yeah.
Sidecars is the bread and butter of life. We call it the unicorn of your bucket list because it truly is. And if you
agree.
experience it, you'll see why. So, thanks, man, for having us. And I think this is the coolest.
I want to thank you guys.
I think this is so awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so
for
much.
having fun with us.
Of course,
Yes.
anytime. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for believing in us. And I just want you guys to continue to believe in yourselves and support each other. And you're not alone, and you are somebody.
Yes.
So we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Peace.
That's it.
Love it.
We did it.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
That's what's up.
Podcast.
Podcast.
Cash cow. And the lights.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're